What's up everyone, Technic here. So in this final video for the video playlist, I will be teaching you guys how to install this thing called an SD2VITA inside of your PS Vita. So this is what an SD2VITA is. What an SD2VITA does is it's actually a micro SD card adapter for your PS Vita. And it goes right inside of your game slot up here. So unfortunately, after you do this, you will no longer be able to play the games inside of that cartridge. Fortunately, though, if you have a really big micro SD card, like big in size anyway, let's say you have like a 256 gigabyte micro SD card, you won't miss that game card slot so much. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So to do this, you're going to need a couple things. You're going to need a PS Vita running some kind of custom firmware. As far as running an SD2VITA though, I do strongly recommend that your PS Vita be on some kind of permanent custom firmware. So whether that be 3.60 Enso like this one, or 3.65 Enso like my main one. This one actually has a 200 gigabyte SD2VITA already in there. So secondly, you're going to need an SD2VITA. These will run around $2 to $5 maybe of US currency. I'll actually leave an Amazon link in the description if you want to get one yourself. You can get them from Amazon. You can get them from eBay. I don't really recommend you get them from eBay, but you can get them from eBay. But if you are going to purchase one, I recommend purchasing two, because there has been some cases where somebody has received their micro SD card, their SD2VITA, sorry, and it didn't end up working. So I recommend getting two just in case one of them is faulty, because sometimes they do not work. It's very rare, but sometimes they don't work. Secondly, you're going to need some kind of micro SD card. Judging on which size you get is depending on how much you're willing to spend on it. Again, I'll recommend different sizes in like some Amazon links. My buddy ended up going with a 256 gigabyte micro SD card. That's what I recommended him to get. And also, it's a plus if you order one and it comes with an adapter already. And lastly, you're going to need some kind of adapter, whether it be a USB stick form or one of these where you can put a SD card slot up in there, or a micro SD card right there. You're going to need an SD card or a micro SD card reader. Again, I will link some in the description just so you can like check some out and use them yourself. But after you have all that, we're going to head and go over to the computer and get started. So the last thing we're going to need is a Windows PC, and if you have a Mac, you're going to have to dual boot this, dual boot your Mac to a Windows firmware. That's all I have to say. Like, this is going to work on a Windows PC only. So go ahead and plug in your SD card adapter into your PC, and it should pop up. So as you can see, whatever your SD card is going to be called, mine is USB drive J. I have like several hard drives on my PC, but this one is USB J. Take note on what your SD card is actually going to be called. So go ahead and right click the actual drive and then go to format, or just to confirm that it is it. You can go to properties and see like the gigabyte size and everything, but go ahead and right click and go to format. Now this part is extremely important. So volume label, you don't have to put anything. The file system is going to be staying at default. Now the allocation size, however, if you have an SD card that's like below 200 gigabytes, let's say it's like 128 gigabyte SD card or lower, you're going to go to default allocation size. Now, however, if you have a micro SD card that's like 200 gigabytes or more, like a 200 gigabyte SD card, a 250 gigabyte or 56 gigabyte SD card, or higher than that, you're going to go to 64 kilobytes. Nothing else, just 64 kilobytes. So go ahead and click on 64 kilobytes and go ahead and check mark the quick format and start. Warning: formatting will erase all data on this disk. To format the disk, click OK. To quit, click cancel. So we are 100% going to format this. So let's go ahead and press OK. And then it's going to go ahead and do its thing. So format complete. Just press OK, and you are all done with that. Now let's move on to the next step. Alright, so for the next step, you're going to be downloading 3 things. You're going to be going to a GitHub and downloading this thing called Auto Plugin. Auto Plugin is actually something that is going to save your life in the long run, so go ahead and download that. Then we're going to go over to Windows 32 Disk Manager. So this is a disk manager that'll write any 32-bit image. So go ahead and download this too. It should start very soon. And there's the download right there. It's just going to install the disk imager. I'm pretty sure I called it a manager. I don't know why though. And then the last thing you're going to download is this thing called a ZZ Blank image. This is something that you're 100% going to need. I've already downloaded it though, so after you have all those files, just go ahead and copy it right over to your desktop or a folder or whatever you want to do, and we'll go ahead and get started with the next step. So after you're done doing that, just go ahead and copy everything to your desktop so it's easy to find. So I'm going to go ahead and copy these 3 files. I forgot I had Windows Manager already on here, but I'm going to go ahead and replace it anyway. So now that you have all those 3 things, go ahead and go into Windows Disk Manager, Disk Imager. I apologize because my recording stopped after I did that, but we're going to go ahead and accept. Go to next. You can create a desktop shortcut. Again, I'm pretty sure I have I have a desktop shortcut for this, so we're gonna go ahead and create it again and go to install. So you can uncheck view readme.txt if you don't want to read it. I'm about to tell you how to do it anyway, and then go to finish. So afterwards, that ZZ Blank image file that you just downloaded, that's what you're going to need to find. So go ahead and go to this file browser window or file browser button. Go to your desktop, and the ZZ Blank image should be right here, and then click on open. So again, if you know what your device's name is, so like I said, mine is in my J drive, so it's going to be J. Then all you have to do is just click on write. And writing to a physical device can corrupt the device. Are you sure you want to continue? Say yes. And it's going to say write successful. Then I'll press OK. And then go ahead and close it. The next thing you're going to do is disconnect your SD card adapter. And then you're going to reconnect it. Now go ahead and try to find your SD card again. So again, mine is in the J drive. It says you need to format the disk drive J before you can use it. Go ahead and press cancel, and then go ahead and press OK. Now go to the J drive and then go to format. Redundant, I know, but it's okay. So like I said, 238 gigabytes. Go ahead and put it on default exFAT. It should be default anyway. If it's not, go ahead and put it on exFAT. And since mine is a 238 gigabyte SD card or micro SD card, I'm going to go ahead and put it on 64 kilobytes. And then check quick format and go to start. And then press OK. Now doing all of this is just going to wipe your micro SD card completely to make sure nothing happens when you're trying to do the process of making it an equipable SD card for the SD2VITA. So that's why we did all that, if you were wondering. I know it's kind of like redundant doing the unplugging and everything, but it will help you in the long run. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. Next thing we're going to do is move back to our PS Vita. We're going to scroll down and go into Vita Shell. In some people's cases, you're going to have to use your FTP server, but in this case, just go ahead and press the select button, and then we'll go ahead and go into USB mode. So as soon as you're in USB mode, go ahead and connect it to the USB, and then we'll move over to our computer. So now that we're connected to our computer, you're going to go ahead and drag and drop the auto plugin VPK onto your PS Vita. And then let's go ahead and go back to our PS Vita. Now go ahead and press cancel. and you're going to see auto plugin at the bottom right here. Go ahead and go to auto plugin and install it. It's going to ask you 2 times if you want to install it. Go ahead and say yes. You can also unplug the USB cord, by the way. Auto plugin may take a while to install, but not really. So once it's done installing, go ahead and press start. Go ahead and reboot your PS Vita. Your PS Vita reboots, you're going to go ahead and scroll down. You're going to see a new application called Auto Plugin. Before you go into that application, go right back into Vita Shell, open it up, then press the select button, and this is going to be the important part. Go ahead and connect right back to the PC, and we're going to move over to the PC. Now this is going to be the important part. So go ahead and plug in your PS Vita. Should pop up. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and just find it myself. Actually, I just realized what I did. I got plugged into the wrong slot. Give me 1 second. That should do it. And then you're gonna go ahead and plug in your SD2VITA, or not your SD2VITA, your micro SD card adapter. So just like one of my previous videos, if you go to view and untick hidden items, you're gonna see a lot less folders, but go ahead and do me a favor and go to view and check mark hidden items. So every single item can be shown on the SD card of your on your memory card for your PS Vita. Now, depending on how many things that you actually had on your PS Vita will vary how long this will actually take. So you're just gonna go ahead and select every single item on your PS Vita's UX0, and you're going to drag and drop it all onto the SD card. Now again, this will vary how much stuff you have on your PS Vita. Mine is going to go quickly because this is a fresh install. This is why I always do it like this. There's hardly anything on it. And make sure you replace the files in the destination. Replace every single file. You basically are copying this thing, or you're basically copying the items inside your memory, the UX0 of your PS Vita, onto this micro SD card. After you're done with that, go ahead and close both of the windows, and we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so we're actually all done copying things, so we can go ahead and unplug our PS Vita from the computer. We can go ahead and back out to the home menu, and then we're going to go into auto plugin. Now, auto plugin is actually old. There's actually an auto plugin 2 out. So make sure you are connected to the Wi-Fi, by the way. Make sure you're connected to the Wi-Fi as of right now. And then go ahead and go into auto plugin. The cool thing about auto plugin is it's a program that, well, application. It's an application that'll actually update itself. So there's going to be a few updates that's going to happen, by the way. It's actually going to update your auto plugin 1 to auto plugin 2. So it's going to actually install auto plugin 2 onto your PS Vita. And then auto plugin 2 is going to have an update. So it's going to update twice. So I'm going to go ahead and skip through all the updates. So just to show you, after the first update, it's actually going to boot into auto plug into. So this is auto plug into, like you should see on the top. If I'm not mistaken, it's about to ask us to update it once again, but I don't think it's going to do it, thankfully. So that's cool. So actually, to test it out, I'm going to go ahead and go to exit, close it out. So again, you no longer need auto plug in 1, just go ahead and delete it. And now we're going to go ahead and go into auto plug into. I'm actually surprised it's not asking for an update. Alright, cool. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go to exit, close it out. Now we're going to go ahead and get our micro SD card and our SD2VITA. Put the micro SD card inside. It's going to click a little bit, maybe. Every SD2VITA is made different. If you have a game in your game slot, go ahead and take it out, and then put the micro SD card, put the SD2VITA inside. And my buddy's PS Vita has seen some better days. Go ahead and go into auto plug into and open it up. So while we're in auto plugin 2, go ahead and go to Vita plugins. Go to install plugin for SD2VITA. And it says to install storage manager plugin, your SD2VITA must be ready. If a game card is inserted, it must be removed before rebooting. Very important, your SD2VITA must have some apps already in it. You can copy/paste them from your official memory card. Only copy really needs apps to your SD. So for example, h-encore, Vita Shell. So you don't have to worry about this because we completely copied all the contents from our official Sony memory card or your internal storage all the way to our micro SD card, which is the SD2VITA. So it already has the apps it already has the apps, Vita Shell and everything on there already. So you're actually good. So go ahead and go to proceed with the installation, whatever that button is for you. So install plugin for SD2VITA has been installed. So now it's going to pop up with this menu. So MCD, official memory card, is in the UMA0. The internal memory card, or the internal memory, is unmounted. The GCD is SD2VITA, is your UX0 now. And your UMA, USB PSVD, or Vita 3G, this is actually for the 3G model, so I don't have to worry about this one for this one. This is a mod where you can actually change your 3G card to another SD card slot. So again, this is a 2000 model, so you don't have to worry about that. What this option is basically saying is your MCD, or your official memory card slot, is actually taking the place of your SD2VITA slot, and your GCD, which is the game card slot, the SD2VITA, is taking the place of your official memory card. So these are the settings that you want. Your UX0, you want that on your SD2VITA, so it can take the place of your memory card. So instead of it showing that you have, this is like an 8 gigabyte memory card, instead of it showing 8 gigabytes, it's going to say you have the required amount that your micro SD card is. So if yours is set up like this, go ahead and press the triangle button to save current configuration. And then store manager config updated. And then it's going to say your PS Vita will restart. So go ahead and press OK. Now, if done correctly, in some cases, it's going to actually show this boot logo twice. So just be prepared for that. If it shows it twice, don't be afraid. It's just getting used to the SD2VITA. Sometimes it just works on the first go, though. Which, in this case, I guess it did. Let's go ahead and go to your settings. Go to start. And then go to your system settings and your system information. So as you can see, I have 238 gigabytes of storage on this SD card now. The SD2VITA installation is a success. As of right now, if I were to go into Vita Shell you can see that I now have a UMA0 slot. So the UMA0 is the official Sony official memory card, or it's your what's it called? Your system storage for PS Vita 2000 or PS TV. So the installation is a success. What I do recommend you doing now is, if you want to just use your SD2VITA, you can. You can actually remove your memory card and just not use it at all. But to save you from further injury, if you're going to keep the memory card inside, which is what my buddy's going to do, go ahead and press the start button for the USB device. Go to game card, since the game card and memory card switch places, and then go ahead and press back, and then press the select button. And we're going to plug our PS Vita back into the PC. So now that we have the SD2VITA slot opened up, go ahead and go to properties. So as you can see, this one is 238 gigabytes now. Go ahead and back out of it. This is just to re-verify that everything is working. So back on the PS Vita, go ahead and press cancel, unplug it from the PC. Go into your UMA0. So you go into your UX0 to verify all the folders are there. Now go into your UMA0. Press triangle. Where's that selection at? Go to mark all. Press the triangle button. And then go to delete. So it's going to delete everything off of your official memory card or your system storage. Like the internal storage. I'm talking about the 1 gigabyte SD card, by the way. So it's just going to delete all that stuff. You don't necessarily have to do this, but I just did it just to make room on the official Sony memory card. You actually do not need that memory card anymore. So on your UX0, you have everything still. So what you can do now is press the start button and reboot, just to make sure everything's working properly. Go ahead and open it up. Go to your settings. Go to start. Enkaku settings. Make sure everything's still good. Go to your system information. Make sure the size is still okay. And to take a step further, go ahead and go to Vita Show and make sure it still opens. At this point in time, you are good to go. Your SD2VITA setup and everything. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is Technic. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a like. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment. I'll be happy to answer. And I'll see you on the next video.